and welcome back to part 2 of our seascape using the cruiser H.M.S Hood in 1/2000 scale. It's so cute. So, how far did we get? Well, we've got this plaster down, the filler down, we've got the hull of the hood done, and we've got it painted. So, what next? I went into town today, nipped into Wilkinson's, and I got blue paint, which is called After Hours. It's quite dark blue. And I got a white paint, which is called Moonlight White. Now what we can do is we can mix them together. We can do a blue coat first, and then we can mix some of the white in it and do some of the highlighted areas, and then we can leave it to dry after that again. And then we can do a technique called dry brushing, and I'm going to teach you all about dry brushing later on. And while the coats are drying, we can get on and finish putting all the little tiny things on H.M.S Hood. And they are little tiny things. So, that's not the bits for the hood. They're far too big, that's the bits for the U-boat. The bits for the hood are in the very big box that it came in. So, oh, foggy sowy time again, drink time. So let's get our largest brush. It's gone pink where we used it on the red on the provost, but it's fine. It's fine. Let's get our one of our palettes. Oh, disgustingly used, dirty palettes. Clean your palettes. Don't be like Dave. What's Dave? Dave's an idiot. Right, so let's start off. Let's stick some of the blue. Oh, it is a dark blue. That's a very dark blue. So we'll just pour a bit. I want hair in it. Let's pour a bit of the blue. Ugh. There's a bit too much of the blue, never mind. So butcher that model, video. What could possibly go wrong? Right, and all we're going to do is liberally slap it on, as Skipper Ted, Skipper Scale models would say. Slap it on. And it's literally nothing pretty. What you want to do, I've taken the tape off, is go over onto the wood. That way, if there is any bits missed, when we put it back on the frame, it doesn't matter, because it's blue anyway, and nobody will notice. It won't stand out like a sore thumb. That was a disturbance in the force for my daughters. It is a disturbance in the force, but never mind. Never mind. Right then. Back to painting blues. It's slapping it on. I went all quiet then, didn't I? Sorry. I was lost. Lost in a world of blue. Lost in a sea of blue. This is going to dry very, very quickly because the plaster or the filler or whatever you've used, it's going to go suck all the moisture out of the paint very quickly. Right. So now all we need to do, make sure we get it all, even where you think the ship's not going to be, just get it all in blue, all around the edge. Now it's already starting to look like the sea, isn't it? Hey, it's clever stuff this, you know. Right then, so we'll leave that to dry for a little bit. Put off in some water and some good old fashioned H2O. That'll do for now, nothing too fancies. We're going to use it again in a minute. Oh, I've got very coffee tonight. It's frog in the throaty. It's always good to have a drink of juice, or tea or a coffee, and sustenance. Sustenance at the bench is very important. Packet of crisps and some sweets. Right then, so let's leave that to dry for a bit, and then we'll get our bits and pieces our box, and then what we'll do is we shall put all the tiny details on. Now then, I was going to show you a trick, wasn't I? The mast is a very thin piece of plastic. Now if we went to try and cut that off the sprue, what we could do is snap it. It's very, very easy to snap delicate little pieces like that. What you need to do is you need to take the tension out of it, and the way we do that is you simply cut the sprue into 3 parts. Okay, and once that is done, that has relieved the tension. Okay, so now we can quite easily, without risk of snapping our part, clip it off. It's all a matter of relieving the tension on the part. There we go. And then all you need to do then is trim up the nubs and sand it down. And you can take any tiny, thin, delicate little part off the sprue without ever having to worry about snapping it, just using that method. And that is very, very tiny and very, very thin. Needs a sanding though, but we'll do that. Oh. This is how prepared I am. I used our sanding stick, didn't I? As a stirring stick. We need another sanding stick. 2 seconds, I'm going to get a sanding stick. Talk amongst yourselves for a minute, it's a time machine. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll nip into my cupboard of much stuffs and get another one. There we go. That's the cupboards of much stuff that my wife doesn't know how much stuff is in there. Shh. Shh. It's a secret. Shh. Don't tell her how much stuff is in the cupboard of much stuff. Right then, so let's give that a bit of a sand. If my daughters knew I had all these sanding sticks and nail polish, nail products, and my wife, that pot would have been empty. I have 2 daughters that live at home still that are over 20, and my wife. This house is full of ladies' makeup products everywhere. I have a younger daughter as well at home. She's 13 and she's as bad now, makeup, and there's me and the 2 boys left at home. And we have one tiny little shelf in the bathroom that's got shaving foam, deodorant and aftershave, and men's stuff, links and things like that. Although the girls do tend to help themselves to the links as well. And they've got about 6 shelves of stuff, and the windowsills crammed with makeup and things with ylang and all sorts of weird stuff in it. Shampoos and conditioners and Lord knows what else. If you've got older sisters, you'll know what I mean, lads. And if you're a dad who's new to modelling and are watching these channels, you'll have the same problem, mate, won't you? Right then, so that's that one cleaned up. I was looking for an instruction sheet, but there isn't one, it's on the back. It's tiny. It's a tiny instruction sheet. Right then, so we've done the first part where we've done the horse together. Right, so we'll start at one end. Should we start forward or aft? Let's start 4. So we want the guns 21 and 22s. Right, now even this stuff, it's often best when you work on a little tiny detail like this, just to put a bit on your old slate and use a cocktail stick. Now the secret to cocktail sticks as well is, if you have a pointy end and you have a flat end, it then becomes 2 tools in one. So let's get the guns off. There were, what number was it? 21 and 22, wasn't it? Yeah, it's 21 and 22, which is that one and that one. And the same thing, always leave a little knob and sand it off. 21 and 22. So, how's your build been going? Hopefully, if you're doing it, it's going well. Nothing tricky about this one, it's a nice simple little build, this one. I don't expect you to have any problems. As long as you do your painting like we said, thin coats, it doesn't matter how bad the first and the second coat look, how bitty and time you get your third and fourth coats on, it's going to look absolutely spectacular. Have a go at the wash as well. If you can get some, pledge 2 times more shine. Some of that. I have known people in the past that have used dishwasher rinse aid as a medium for washes, because it's alcohol based and the rinse aid evaporates and just leaves the paint pigment behind. But I've not actually experimented myself with that yet, so I may have to have a go at that. Just a bit of an experiment, just to see how. Now then, now you've got a decision to make. Do you want your guns facing forward? Do you want to face them one way? Now because I've done mine at an angle, what I'm going to do is I'm going to point my main armament as if it's firing that way. It just gives it a bit of dramatic appearance, whereas if we just did it with the guns facing forwards and backwards, it would just look like it's sailing from one harbour to another. This way it looks like it's actually in combat. Right, part number 9. Oh blimey. Oh blimey. Tiny parts, tiny numbers. Oh my eyes. Part number 9 is that. Right then, it's that wibbly wobbly round thing. Snip him off. Sand off his knob. There we go. And that goes where? Where does that go? Oh, it goes on the front of that bit. Okay. Now, should that be angled like that? I don't know. Where misses? Right then. Oh, that bit goes at the top. The blobby angle bit goes at the. Oh well. Oh yeah, I see. I see. It overhangs. There's a little triangular shape on the underside that will. All you need to do that is just dab him on. Dab him on a little bit of glue and plonk him on. Make sure you get him lined up, because I didn't and he wasn't very central. On a ship this scale, if you get something at 0.5 millimetre out, In real life that would be like 30 foot away from where it was supposed to be. Right then, so part 4 and 14. I think we best put part 4 on first because that fits on the lower lip. So you see the little lip, and then the other part will sit on the top of it. So let's put 14 on first, which looks like, no, 4 first and then 14. Dave's an idiot. Don't be like Dave. Don't be an idiot. Dave's an idiot. Oh, that's awkward because the numbers get in the way. So we'll snip the number off. We know that's number 4. We'll snip it straight off so it doesn't matter. Now we can get in there with the next. Right. Well, hopefully you're enjoying doing what we're doing on the channel. The U-boat build is going off at the same time for the older model makers that we've got with us, and for those of them that the parents have said yes, right, I'll help you with the resin. There's nothing to stop you later on in a few years time going back to the U-boat build and having a go at it, because this is what I said what it's like, a time machine. You can go back in this video and watch it in 5 or 6 years time even. It'll still be there and you can still follow on with the build and join in. I'm like Doctor Who on this thing. I'm like a Time Lord. I'm still going to be there as if it was yesterday. Right, so that goes that way and that goes that way. So the 2 little sticky out bits go at the back. So let's just go big fat fingers and little tiny parts. Hopefully you'll have it a lot easier than me because you've got smaller fingers. So let's pop that in there and let's use the pointy end to make sure it's level, otherwise it'll go off at a silly angle. Right, so that's that, and then we want number 14. 14 is that bit of bridge section, a big chunky bit. Snip him off, leave a tiny little knob and sand him down. Another good sanding thing to get is if you go into the local pound shop, you'll find sanding blocks, and they've got 4 different sides of different grades, a buffer and a polisher, and they're very handy to get. The next time you're in a pound shop, just nip in and get some of them. They're very handy to have. So it goes that way up, and fits in between those 2 lugs there, little square bits. So these are flat, a tiny bit of glue on there. I don't want to sit on there. He doesn't want the gluage. Nice and square. Well, it's going to look 30 feet out of where it should be. Right, that's that one done, and then number 13, which is a big bit, a big square bit with a hole in it, big square bit with a hole in. I went all Lancashire on you then, back to my roots then. It's a big square bit with a hole in it. Talking of Lancashire lads, have you had a chance to go and have a look at the one of the websites I pointed you to, one of the YouTube channels, which is Luke's APS, Luke's Affordable Paint Service. Now Luke mainly does Warhammer gaming things, but he does lots of terrain. Very good to watch Luke's stuff, very handy. He's a good lad, he's Luke, good lad, good Lancashire lad. His head's in the right place and his heart is as well, he's a good lad. So go and watch Luke's stuff. Right, number 13 goes on them dots there. There's holes for 13, so alright, we know exactly where that goes. So we'll put those things in there. And that sits. Which way around? The other way around. Dave's an idiot. Don't be like Dave. There we go. Now it's already starting to look like a proper battleship, like a cruiser. A cruiser and a bruiser. H.M.S Hood was a wonderful, wonderful ship. Apparently. Everybody loved it apparently. Right, so we want all the little guns now. Ooh, all the 18s. Note to self, don't sit on your foot. It'll go to sleep. Right then, 18s are the little tiny guns down the side of here. And we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 on the sides and 1 at the back of this lot. So also 1, 2, 3. Oh, hang on a minute. Ooh. Right then, scratch that. We move part 13 quick before it dries, because there's 2 little holes there. There's 2 of these little guns going, and you just struggle to get them in because there's a walkway thing that goes over the top of it. So very careful with these, these are very, very tiny. Please, if you're going to use your tweezers, these are the sort of thing that will go ping right across your room, land halfway across your room on the floor, and the carpet monster will instantly devour. You wait, I'm telling you. You may scorn, but you haven't met the carpet monster yet. Or have you? Leave a comment below if you've met the carpet monster already. He's had one of your bits of plastic already. He's a very strange creature. He'll regurgitate it in about 6 months' time when you don't need it. When you've forgotten what you said, what the heck's that I've just done? Tiny, tiny. Oh, it's tiny. It's not even in the hole, it's at the side. There we go. Now hopefully, like I said earlier, you'll have an easier job than this, than I am, because your eyesight will be far better than mine. Just my old man knackered eyes struggle with things like that. Right, so we'll get the next one off, and then we'll put that bridge section back on again. So, pop him off. Just sand a little nub at the back. Pointy end of the stick, I'll drop in the hole. Just remember what I said, you don't need to put huge amounts of glue on things. You really will be surprised at how little glue you actually need to get things to stick, and especially when you're working in something in this scale. These guns that we're putting on at the side in real life will be about 20 foot square at the back. They'll probably hold about 2-3 blokes inside it. And if you put a blob of glue, and you can see the glue, in real life that will be like putting a bouncy castle next to it. Size wise, you know. You don't see many bouncy castle shaped things on battleships. Although with the Navy today, Wrens and that, no, but let's not get into that. Let's not upset the Wrens. Especially as I live in Portsmouth. I've probably got 20 Wrens banging on my door trying to beat me up now. Right, put more glue down there. Right, so put the rest of these little ones on. And they can safely go on now without worrying about covering things up and get them underneath things like an idiot, like I was just then. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put these guns on. I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to put the rest of the bits on because it's probably getting very boring now, aren't you? You getting bored yet? Watching me sticking tiny bits of things on it, a bit of plastic. So I'll put these two guns on and then I'll pause it, and when we come back we can get back onto dropped it, see? We can get back onto painting some sea, painting the sea blue. That's that one on. Right, so I'll pause this now, and with the magic of our time machine, what is it? Time machine. We'll be back any second. Oh, it's a time machine. See, we're back. Right. I've got about half a little thing done. It's very fiddly. But it's really starting to look like a battleship now. Or a cruiser. Now then. That first coat said time to dry. So, what we want to do is we want to get some of the white. Some of the white. Not a huge amount, just a bit. Just a bit. I'm not going to worry about contaminating that blue now. And some of the blue. Okay, just start mixing it together. That's a little bit too light, so I want a bit more blue. Just mix it together till you get a lighter blue. Something like that. And then what you want to do, this isn't dry brushing yet, just take a lot of the paint off, okay? And then what you need to do is very gently, don't put any pressure on, just start flicking it across. And what you're going to do is you're going to start, maybe a bit too light, you're going to start picking up all the ways. It's going to look quite messy to start with. Once you start building it up, you're going to start getting to see the waves coming through. All the same way. They're going all the same way. Now you see how that is now really starting to look like a sea. Now we need to leave that to dry again. Okay? So, and then we'll carry on sticking more little bits on the ship. Wash my brush off. And, what is it? It's a time machine. See you in a second. Ooh, we're back in the room. Time machine. Right then. I'll put all the little tiny bits on, and the light blue has now had time to dry. Now, are you ready for some learnings? Learnings time. We're going to do a technique called dry brushing. Now this is going to seem really strange at first. I'm going to put a tiny bit of paint, white, on the end of the brush, and then we're going to get our cloth and move that out of the way, that thing, and then literally rub most of it off. So you're going to get like next to nothing on the brush, and then very gently. Now you won't see a lot happening at first, and eventually you'll start to see the white paint, just the pigments that are left in the brush that bristles, start to collect. You've got to be patient with this. You've got to build it up. Now, you'll start to see especially around the lumpy bits, and you only want to get it, that's why you're doing it very lightly across the top. You only want to get it now. You see how that's starting to pick up the white, and you want to do that now all over it. So what you do is a tiny little bit on the end of your brush. You have to load it up lots and lots, and then just rub it on the cloth, rub it on a bit of kitchen roll, a bit of toilet roll, so you think there's nothing left on your brush, and then carry on just very gently, and all the high points will start to pick up the white pigments of paint. And it takes a bit of time and a bit of patience, but the more patient you are and the more you build it up, the better it's going to look. So literally next to nothing on your brush, you'll find there's little pigments of white paint in between the bristles, and that's what the high points are going to pick up. See? Now it's really starting to look like water, isn't it? And waves. And you can do that as much as you like. Just keep going. Just keep going. It's not a race, you're not in a rush. All the time in the world. Just very, very gently. The secret is be very gentle and just pick up very lightly, and you're picking up all the high points. And we especially want it around the front, and then we especially want it around the back here, because that's where the propellers have kicked up lots of wake. Just rub away and rub away around the back. And when we put the ship on it, it looked like the propellers had been through here and chopped up all the water, made it all frothy. And just keep going. Just pick up all those high points. It's a great technique, it's fantastic, fantastic technique. You'll get to love dry brushing, especially when you're doing things like Games Workshop miniatures and things like that. Dry brushing is a fantastic technique. A little bit on your brush, and then rub most of it off, and then back in again. And just rub away, just nice and gently. It's amazing to think all this started off as just a pot of filler, and you've made it look like the Atlantic Ocean. There you go. And now what we want to do, you can keep going as much as you want. I'll probably come back to this and do a little bit more highlighting. But let's just see what I really mean when you pop H.M.S Hood in there. It's cool, isn't it? I told you it's going to be a cool little build. So, pop him down. I'm going to do another couple of bits of dry brushing. You don't want me to do it, you know how to do it now, don't you? So it's a tiny bits on the end of your brush. Don't go mad, don't load it up to the gunnels. Just about like that. And then rub it in, rub it on your towel, paper towel or your bit of toilet roll, and then just flick it across the surface. And you'll see in the end it really starts to build up, and it just makes the top of the waves pop, and it looks like proper waves. Right, so I'm going to carry on doing that off camera because you're going to get bored watching me do it. Alright, and I'll see you in a bit when we put it back in the frame and we set H.M.S Hood in there and we call it finished. So I'll see you in a minute. In a bit, in an hour or two, in a minute. It's Time Machine! Woo! Ooh, Time Machine, we're back. See, look. Now then, all we need to do now is we need to fasten the hood, sticking down. And all we're going to do is we're going to use some PVA, because it dries clear, so it doesn't matter if it goes up the edge. Stick a bit of PVA in the bottom. And get our H.M.S Hood. Put it in there. Oh, let's move that out of the way. And there you have H.M.S Hood Seascape. Just about to go into battle against the Bismarck. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed doing that. Be very careful when you're building it. They're very tiny parts and it's quite fiddly, but you've got younger eyes than me and smaller fingers, so you won't have the same problems I had. That was a real struggle for me, little tiny bits and big fat sausagey fingers. So have a go at it, have a crack. It's very, very cheap to do. I think the entire thing cost us about 12 quid with paints and the kit and the picture frame and the filler. It's not bad for £12, is it? Have fun, watch the U-boat build, even though you're not doing it yet. Like I keep saying, it's a time machine. Woo. These videos are going to be on the internet, on the channel, forever. So even if you come back in 5 years time or 10 years time even, when you're a lot older and you're a lot more experienced, have a crack at doing the U-boat build. You don't even have to do the little one. There are bigger scale submarines as well. You know, times change, your fortunes will change. You'll leave school, you'll get a job, you'll earn money. You think, oh, I'm going to have a crack at this sub that Dave did years ago. Wow, let's have a go at it. If you do, have fun, enjoy it, alright? And I'll see you in our next build. Well, the U-boat, but, you know, after that as well, if you know what I mean. Alright? Have fun, enjoy your modelling, enjoy being outside as well. Alright? Don't just sit doing modelling all day. Alright? Don't sit playing your Xbox all day. Get out and get some fresh air as well. Go and see life. Alright? And I'll see you in our next, whatever we do next. Bye. Who's got the button? It's always me that's got the button again. Why isn't it your turn? Not you. Your turn next. You can have the button next.